Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a Sweden day, not just a Sweden day, but a Sweden learning day. The Swedish alphabet from A to O. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
I know what you're thinking. Swedish just uses the same alphabet as English. But you're wrong, because in Swedish...
It kind of does look like the English alphabet. I mean, I said A and O, and I know you don't pronounce that as O, or how we pronounce O.
we have more letters. A. In Swedish, all vowels are what they call in German Selbstlaute.
Selbstlaute.
Sounds. I'm using the German term here because it's very descriptive. So it only has one sound, A, but it can actually have different sounds. You can check out my crash course on Swedish pronunciation.
I might have to check out his crash course, guys, because I'm coming to Sweden this year. Still haven't booked my ticket, by the way, guys. But I'm going to be booking a plane ticket probably August, maybe end of July. Today's the day I'm going to be looking at flights, basically. I've left it very last minute. That's the type of person I am. I'm a very last minute person. I'm really sorry. You're going to watch a video of me and I'm going to be like, I'm coming to Sweden. I've booked my ticket. I'm so last minute. Do you know what? I've had like a year to book this trip to Sweden and Finland, and I haven't done it yet. It's going to happen. I don't know if, yeah. Basically, I will be booking it this week. I've said this for about a year, but I am booking it this week, and you will get a video and I will tell you I'm coming, and I'll tell you the dates. But yeah, I need to have a crash course in Swedish because I can't speak Swedish and I want to get by. Probably after I do the alphabet, I'm probably going to do like I said, a crash course, or like something like really short, or the essentials. Like, what are the essentials to get by in Sweden? Does that make sense? By the way, let me know in the comment section, is there anyone in Sweden? Are there any Swedish people that can't speak English? That's an honest question. Will I encounter Swedish people that cannot speak a lick of English? Will I struggle to communicate? I know the majority of Swedish people can speak English, but will there be the odd few that are like, sorry, I don't understand? Let me know in the comment section.
Here, B, which is both in English and Swedish pronounced like B. You know what comes next. We have C, which can be pronounced like a voiceless S or a K. D, which is like in English a D sound. E, not E. F, that's pretty much like in English. G, it's never pronounced like J, it's pronounced like G, or sometimes like Y. And again, I recommend you watch.
Y, y, y. Ah, y. We definitely don't pronounce the G like that. It's always a G. G, 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 G. Never Y. Interesting.
Watch my crash course in Swedish pronunciation after this video.
Should I watch it after?
It is.
You know what? I might watch it after because this is a short video. So yeah, should I watch the crash course? We'll see.
It's in fact pronounced like, but we don't say H, which comes from Latin. We say H, I. And as you know,
that makes so much more sense. Whore. That would make so much more sense in English. Like in the sense of like, I don't know why I would say H. I would say because of Latin. But H always to me was very confusing. But whore makes a lot of sense. That goes with English a lot better than H. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, let's continue.
As you now know, it only has one sound. E. It's not I, which are two sounds, right? And then I have another surprise for you. I give you Y. And Y is a half vowel just like Y in English. So it's always pronounced Y, except for in the word journalist.
Y. See, that's how you say J. And we say J.
Journalist, but that's French's fault. Cool. Which is
so you actually do pronounce the J like that in journalist. Okay.
Sounds like in English, except for when it isn't. Then we have M and
M.
N.
N.
Oo is also not a diphthong like in English. It's not O, it's oo. And
Ooh. Ooh. Not O. 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 Ooh.
sometimes it's O.
I do think the way that you pronounce things is a lot more pleasing to my lips. Ooh. I don't know. Like, Swedish sounds just a lot better to my, like, yeah. The way you pronounce certain things, it's very pleasing to my tongue. That sounds wrong. But you know what I mean.
Whatever. Then we have P.
P.
Then we have one that we can pretty much disregard. It's Q. Q. We don't use it
Q.
in Swedish. However, we use it in some names, so we still cling on to it. R.
Oh, so you don't have any words where you use that letter, but you still got it. Q. What did you just say?
Some names, so we still cling on to it. R.
R. Ugh. The rolling, you see, we don't have anything in English that has like the rolling sound. So we find, most British people find that very difficult. R. R.
This letter can have a bunch of different pronunciations in Swedish, but this is about the alphabet, and when we say the alphabet, we say R. Then we have
R.
S, and it's
S.
always voiceless, so it's never gonna be Z. Then we have T.
Z. We don't do Z in English. Everything is Sarah, sorry, shy. Oh no, shy is with a H, so we say shy. I don't know.
T. And
T.
lucky for us, the beverage is also called te in
Tea.
Swedish, just like tea is also tea in English. Fun fact, U, and I've made a video about this. Basically, maybe it was my first or second video. I made a video on U.
Ooh.
U. You're doing great, guys. We're almost done. Next, we have V and double V. And as you can...
V. Double V. Double V.
And here, W is not a double U, it's a double V in Swedish.
Which makes a lot of sense because it looks like a double V. Why we call it a double... What do we call it? W. Yeah, why do we call it W when it's a double V? It makes more sense.
And the reason I talk about these together is that they both produce a V sound. W is another one of those letters we don't really need in Swedish. We have V, right? But we cling on to it for certain names and loan words. And now, everyone, we are closing in on the finish line. We can see the finish. We have X, which produces a X sound in Swedish. We have Y, which is not a half vowel in Swedish. It's Y. Z. It's the one with the coolest...
Wait, whoa. That was very different. That was completely different from how we say it, Z or Z. What did you say?
In Swedish, it's Y. Z. It's
Zeta.
the one with the coolest name so far, isn't it? We could use S for this. We don't need Z, but we have it for zebra, for instance. And now we're done with our alphabet. What's that? We got 3 more letters! So the Nordic languages have an additional 3 letters in the alphabet. They don't necessarily look the same, and they don't have the same placement in all languages, but they basically sound the same.
Okay.
In Swedish, we have O. It's not an A and should never, ever be confused as an A.
Looks like an A to me, guys. Sorry to break it to you. It looks like an A with a little circle above it.
It's O. A is also an A, but with 2 dots. And this one should also never, ever be confused with A. It's A.
I love that you separate O and A, because A, we have A in English, but we still use the same A. So it's kind of confusing for someone who's learning the English language because we have words and we don't differentiate the pronunciation of those letters. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of an example. So, a dog. We don't have a differentiation of a dog and 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 don't have a differentiation, even though they're both the same letter and said differently in different contexts and different words. Do you know what I mean? We have and and but we don't have. Do you know, and you guys do, so I appreciate that. It's a lot easier to understand and learn.
Never ever be confused with
Does that make sense
A.
then?
It's A. Is the last letter in the Swedish alphabet. It's an O with 2 dots and should never ever be confused with an O. This is why we never say A to Z or a Z in Swedish. We say A till Ö.
Oh, till oh my gosh, I do not like when YouTubers do that. I really appreciate this video, and I liked it. But when they just abruptly end, I understand it's an algorithm hack, but it's annoying. Anyways, the crash course looked like it was like 13 minutes long, so I'm gonna do that in a separate video. But this was fun. I need to learn the basic words though. Let me know in the comment section what words I need to be learning in Swedish. When I say words, I mean like words like hello, goodbye, little short sentences. Can I have the bill, please? How do I say that in which way to certain landmark? What else do you say normally to people? Where's the toilet? I want to say that in Swedish. Where how much is this? How much does this cost? You know, the sort of things you would say when you go traveling. If I can learn all the travel stuff, you know, when I interact with Swedes, like I need to know the travel stuff. And you know what my goal is as well? I want to say some sentences so well, guys, so well that I can trick a Swede into thinking that I can speak Swedish. That's what I want. Because I've watched videos in the past where of people that live in Sweden and have lived in Sweden for a long time, who might be American or from another country, and they try and speak Swedish to a Swedish person, and that Swedish person realizes that they're an English speaker and they just default switch into English to reply. Whereas I want to speak so well in Swedish, right? So well that a Swede will be like, oh, that you clearly can speak Swedish, and then start like replying to me in Swedish. So then I can say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak much Swedish. I'll probably say that in Swedish. And then I'm like, can you speak English, please? That's what I want. I want those sorts of interactions. Does that make sense? Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I want to be able to pronounce these sentences like a native Swede. So, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know in the comment section below, like, you know, some scenarios where I would need to reply in Swedish, to ask for directions and stuff like that. And also, like I said, some people might not be able to speak English. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if there are Swedes that can't speak English, because it'd be very helpful if I did know like a few basic sentences. Yeah, I'm probably better off learning sentences because, well, I don't have time to learn Swedish fully. So if I can learn sentences and their replies, perfect. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I will update you on my booking. Today is the day. If not today, no, it's going to be today, to be honest. After this video is done, probably by the time you see this video up online, I probably have booked my ticket to Sweden. But I am going to let you know. How am I going to let you know? On Instagram. If you're not following me, you need to follow me. Dwayne's View. I'm on Instagram. I've never plugged my Instagram. Dwayne's View. You're going to need it because when I go to Sweden, if you're not following me, you're not going to see me in real time in Sweden. You're not going to know. But my Instagram followers are going to know. Dwayne's View on Instagram. Same name. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.